Some of you are here. How do we do this? YouTube. Aha! I have found it! Let's see how we can do this. Let's email out the tribe here. Whoa, my goodness. Da. I'm just double checking links, everybody. Is this right? Hold on, let's check. Okay. Ah. There's everybody. Now is everybody pouring in? Hi, Kelly. Hi, Anthony.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Anthony.
Hello.
Hola. What do you got there, Anthony?
That is a sticker.
That's a monkey.
It is.
Anthony brings monkeys to the party. Kelly doesn't want to distract us by having video on email. All right, so there's some people who are watching. If you want to just watch, you can still interact with us if you just comment on the page, if you just comment on the video on the Google Hangout, or if obviously you're hanging out with us, that's cool too. So Kelly's now embarrassed and has herself on mute. So it's just me and you hanging out now, Anthony. Anthony, it's good to meet you.
Indeed.
Tell me a little bit about your goals in your business.
All right, I'm actually going to do the outside thing. Hold on.
You're going to do the alphabet thing? Is that what you said?
No, I was unaware this would be I was unprepared for the liveness of this, and I'm actually at work. So when you started, you and I started speaking, I had to step outside.
That's
funny.
Well, if you
No, it was funny because everybody in the office looked at me like, "What are you talking about right now?" I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and walk outside real quick."
If you guys want to just watch, you can exit and go to the other link. Hi, Marcia, or is it Marcia? You just left. What's up, Emilio? Hi, Emilio. I'm talking to you, Emilio. Hey, there he is.
What's up, Brian?
And hi, Marcia.
Hello.
What up?
I need to figure out something to hold my iPad
Okay.
vertical.
Got it. Anthony, where is your JOB? What is your JOB?
My JOB, I work at a web development firm. I write web copy for our clients.
You write web copy. Well, this is all going to be easy for you then.
Well, I hope.
Good. All right, so what I'd like to do today, for those of you who are watching, again, if you're just watching, you can comment like Robbie just did. Hey, Robbie. You can comment on the actual Hangout page when you're watching, or if you want to join the call, like Ken just did. What's up, Ken?
How we doing, Ron?
Either one of those ways will be get questions in. But what I'd like to do today is go over criteria for products to pick. My criteria is just a little bit different than Matt and Jason's, and I'll give you a slightly different perspective. And they're quick. They look like this. I am not interested in any product unless it can be sold for $20 to $25. So if something can't sell for $20, $25, I am not interested in selling that product. Marsha, I'm putting you on mute until you can figure out that iPad stand. So just give me like a double thumbs up when you're all set so that we're not hearing your iPad roll around. So from $20 to $25 is gotta be there for me to be interested. Now some people have different criteria, but that's mine. I will not go into that unless it's $20 to $25 because otherwise the margins just aren't there. So if all of your competition is at like 15 and under, is at 15 and under, and you don't see anybody selling for at least 20 bucks, I'm not interested in going into that. So if I was personally advising you, I would say avoid anything less than $20 because you've got to be at least. Look, we're going for volume on Amazon here, what's up, Pat Welsh? And I'm not interested in any volume if I can't get at least $10 to $15 profit on each item. So for that reason, we need to be in that sweet spot for me of at least $20 to $25. Give me a yay or a nay if that makes sense in the chat box or on the Hangout page of why that makes sense, why we got to be in there. So okay, cool. So for I do know exceptions to this rule. Like there's one guy in the ASM forum who does dinosaur figures. Weird market. He sells them for like 12 bucks, and he does great. He's got like 40,000 to 50,000 a month. I am not a believer that that's a viable model. You okay there, Anthony?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So my other criteria, that's the profit margin of. That's the price point I need to be at. Profit margins need to be at least 40%. So after all your expenses, your shipping, your inventory costs, all of that need to be at least 40%. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. The only exceptions to this are on second and third products. So for your first products, you should not be looking at anything where your profit margins are less than 40%. And volume, that's profit margins, that's the first part. The second part is the volume, because we need the volume, obviously, when we're only making 10 to 20 bucks a sale. And for that volume, your top competitors need to be doing at least 100 units a day. The way that you calculate this is really an estimate. There's no perfect way to do it. There's two ways you can calculate it. One is to look at where they're ranking in their Kelly, I don't know if it's being recorded, to be honest with you. I think it's being recorded, I'm not sure. The total rank, like the rank in all of Amazon, it's what is it, BSIN or whatever, or I forget what it's called, but if that is under 1,000, that's a good sign. If it's under 500, that's the best sign. That means they're probably doing about 100 per day. But is there anything I want to say about that? As far as volume. Oh, the second way that you can calculate volume is if you go to the. Hey guys, if you've got noise in your background, just do me a favor and mute yourself. Yeah, I hear you, Emilio. Who's the culprit? It's not Pat Welsh. Could be Anthony, who's outside. I'm looking at you, Anthony. Just kidding. Chuck, I think you're good. So if you've got noise in the background, just do me a favor and mute yourself. The second way that you can calculate your inventory is, or the competitor's volume, is if you go to their listing and you hit, this is Ninja, if you hit add to cart and you put in the quantity of 999 units, what it will come back with is it will say, sorry, there are only 349 available. And then if you come back the next day and at the same time and you do the same process, it'll come back and say, sorry, only 189 of these are available. And you go, okay, great. So a bit of a rough estimate is that this is doing however many units that is per day. And it's totally rough. It's not perfect at all, but it gives you a bit of a sniff test. So you want to be at least minimum price $20, volume of at least, the market holds at least 100 per day, and profit margins of 40%. Now, if you can get close to these, you're okay. For example, my first product, still to this day, doesn't sell 100 units per day. Together, it with another product sell about 170 units a day, but it does not do 100 units a day. That's fine. It does great. The profit margins are high. Profit margins are 55, 60%. The shipping's fast. Everything else is there, but that total market doesn't hold 100 units a day. The reason why it was okay is because our second product was fantastic, and together, a lot of people order them together because they're very tightly related, and we'll talk about that later for second products being really, really related. But for those of you who are just starting out with your first product, you need high volume, high profit margins, and obviously a higher cost is going to get you closer to those margins of at least 40%. Cool? So you guys can ask questions in the chat box or on the page, or you can unmute yourself and hang out with me, because that's really what I know you guys are kind of at that point. It would actually help me if you could let me know where in the training you are and what your biggest questions are right now, either audibly, just talking to me right now, or if you want to put it in the chat box, that's fine too.
Hey, Ryan, this is Greg. Could you repeat the first step of determining or estimating the quantity that I got the second one down? I just wasn't clear on the first.
Sure, Greg. The way you do that is just by looking at where they rank total on Amazon. So if, like right now my yoga mats are out of inventory, otherwise I'd show you on that. But if you just go to any Amazon listing and you scroll down, it'll show you where it's ranking in its top category. So on my yoga mats, it would be like, this is ranked 3,250 in sports and outdoors. Now, because I've been in this game for a while, I can like estimate to you about how much volume that is. At about 1,000, if it says this product is number 1,000 in health and fitness or health and personal care, I know that that person's doing about 40 to 60 units a day. If somebody's at like 700, like 700 or below, they're doing like 60 to 80 a day. And at 500 and better, they're doing over 100 units per day.
Okay.
Obviously rough estimates, but that's what I know based on the fact that I used to rank at 10,000 and then 5,000, and now I'm in the 500s. Make you sensey?
Yeah, I get it. So your idea is just to be in that kind of that top category of.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So where are you guys at in the training? Amelia, I'll get to your question in a second. That's a great question. Where are you guys at in the training, and what questions are coming up as you're going through that training? Anyone? Bueller?
Well, hey, Ryan, I'll speak up.
Good. What's up?
Well, I'm going to order supplier samples tomorrow from 2 different suppliers in China and check out their quality. But the question I have is more in the future on marketing. Do you market the keyword or you market the category? You mentioned in your yoga mats you had the health niche or the sports niche.
Okay, cool. So that leads right into Amelia's question of moving up in the rankings. So if you guys watch my presentation that I gave at the last ASM conference, I made kind of a bold claim, and that was that really most your 80-20 rule, where 80% of your sales are going to come from, is from ranking for a keyword. Just like if you were doing Google SEO, most of your volume is going to come from the keywords that you rank for on Amazon. We call this lovingly Amazon SEO. And the way that you rank on this is their algorithm, we're still figuring it out. I think I'm ahead of the curve from most people, but I'm friends with the guys at Beachbody, the people who do P90X, Insanity, T25, all those guys. And they do $40 million a year on Amazon, and they don't even know the algorithm. We're ahead of them on the algorithm. So it's a bit of a mystery, but here's what we know about the algorithm from Amazon. It is a mix of how many sales you do, what your seller feedback is, not reviews, your seller feedback, and your conversions. Conversions are 100% made up by reviews. So we can call it reviews, but it's not really reviews that makes you rank. It's the conversion rate that comes from your reviews. So that's total sales, conversion rate, seller feedback. That's what we know impacts rankings. There's other things that we speculate about that we're not sure if it impacts rankings or not. Amount of inventory available, review quality, listing title. These are things that we aren't sure if they impact. Oh, the other one is outside traffic. If someone is sending traffic from outside of Amazon to Amazon. Now again, we're not sure if those things impact rankings. We're speculating at that point. We're 100% sure that seller feedback, sales, and conversion rate do make a difference in where you rank. So how do you get this going? There's a bit of a chicken-egg issue here. Do you go after sales first? Do you just round up a bunch of your buddies and give you reviews? You need reviews in order to get sales, but you need sales in order to get reviews, so what do you do here? What we decided to do, and it's worked for us 100% of the time, was to be aggressive on reviews with the belief that as a result of getting a lot of reviews, the sales would follow. And we've been right 100% of the time for this. So if you put all of your focus on getting reviews, the sales will follow shortly after. The only real marketing that you guys need to be worried about when you start, there's a bunch of things you can do. Believe me, you could drive yourself crazy doing 100 different types of marketing. The only things that you need to do are Amazon ads and getting reviews. Those are the only things. Emilio asked, I noticed that Amazon retargets me. Does Amazon have retargeting capabilities in their system? Amazon does all of your retargeting for you. It's creepy and trippy how they do it. So we can't control the retargeting, but Amazon will retarget for you. Now Emilio's a really experienced marketer. Knows a good amount about traffic buying and conversion. So Emilio, I'm going to give you a little bit of additional advice that for some of you is going to be way over your head. Don't worry about it. The only thing you need to get started is PPC ads from Amazon and getting a lot of reviews. Now, if you wanted to be aggressive and you were a bit of an advanced marketer, I had some former tribe members here at my Ken, if you don't know what retargeting is, don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about it right now. But I had some people at my house in Austin a couple last weekend. Some former tribe members, or I shouldn't say former, some graduates of the last round. They were at my house and we were doing some advanced stuff. And one of the guys was in a competitive market, and I said, if you want to blow this up, which I know you do, what I'd recommend you do, and again, if this is confusing to you, please don't ask me to explain it step by step. This is advanced. Some of you, it doesn't matter yet. But if you wanted to blow something up, I would put together a landing page, an advertorial, or a pre-sell page, buy a bunch of solo ads and Facebook traffic to it, get it to convert straight to Amazon. It won't profit. At best, you'll break even. But you will feed Amazon's algorithm exactly what it wants in order to get something off the ground and moving. You see, for most people, at about 30 to 50 reviews, Amazon's channel starts to do a lot of the work for you. That was 30 to 50 reviews. So I tell people that when they're starting, their only job is to get 30 to 50 reviews. That's all you need to worry about. Because at that point, Amazon's channel starts to kick in, and a bunch of sales start to come in, and you can figure out your processes for getting more reviews at that point. If you wanted to be aggressive, and you could put up an advertorial or a pre-sale page and drive a bunch of outside traffic and feed the algorithms, sales, outside traffic, the reviews you're already getting, that would put you way ahead of other people, because there is a significant piece of Amazon's algorithm that is the total number of sales. So as your sales creep up, it's a snowball. Your sales start to grow, and as a result, you jump up in the rankings, which makes your sales grow that much more, which makes your sales grow that much more, and it continues to grow and grow and grow. If you want to kickstart that process, you can drive some outside traffic from advertorials, from pre-sale pages, from Facebook, from solo ads, and start to kick that process if you're at that level where you're comfortable doing that. It can cost $1,000 to $5,000 to buy that type of advertising, but it'll kickstart the process. If that's confusing to you, don't worry about it, because if you're a beginner, the only thing you need to worry about is reviews and Amazon PPC. all you need to worry about. That'll be enough to kickstart them. Question from Kelly. I've heard a lot of danger in getting reviews from friends and family and forming review sharing groups. Is this true? So I have one product that's a nutritional supplement that has 120 reviews, fantastic reviews. About 90 of those are friends and family. We've had 3 reviews removed. So is there danger in getting reviews deleted? Yes. How prominent is it? This prominent. Now, is there danger in getting groups to do reviews? Yes. That is a bad idea. It's a bad idea to get the same group to leave a bunch of reviews for a bunch of products. We had one of our competitors get caught doing that, and they got shut down. But if you're raising your own group, if you're going to your own people and keeping a spreadsheet of those people, go for it. Do it. I do that all day long. Amazon's totally cool with you giving out product to people and asking for a review. That's totally fine. But getting a group of people in place to inflate your reviews positively, bad idea. Friends and family I've had no problems. I've had 3 reviews removed, and the reasons they were removed is because we had a relationship with them. But the only thing they did was say, we removed this review because it was clear that you had a relationship with this person. Okay, fine. That's fair. We got 100 other reviews that are still there. So I'm not worried about it at all. I am not afraid. I might be a little bit less afraid than most people of getting shut down by Amazon because I believe that everything they're doing is true and ethical. And if we get shut down, I can call up somebody and say, this is the situation, this is what we did. We know that it's within your guidelines. And we explain ourselves. Now, I've gotten shut down before for 24 hours. It was because one of our competitors reported us for doing something that we weren't doing. That's the only time that I've been shut down and we were reinstated 24 hours later. Amazon will work with you. Nakey Sensei, Kelly?
Is there any advantage if the people leaving a review put the keywords in either the title or the review itself?
Again, speculation says yes. Not 100% sure if that's true, but speculation and rumor on the street is yes.
I have a question in regards to the reviews.
Sure, go ahead.
If it's friends and family, and they, like, say they know it's your friends and family just because in the past I've ordered stuff from Amazon shipped to them, so they recognize the address and say, hey, you know this person, and now they just left a review. Is that the worst they're going to do, is just remove that review?
That is the worst they're going to do, is remove that review.
Okay.
Hold on, let me read the comments that are coming up. Kat says, I have a spreadsheet of potential products, but I'm not pulling the trigger until I actually go through the module. Okay, cool.
I have another comment on that as well.
Sure.
I'm actually a little bit ahead. I actually have my first product here in my house, but I'm kind of hesitant on what to do with it. I don't know if I want to send it off to FBA or wait till I get to that module and send it off to FBA then.
So is your question, sorry, repeat your question. I kind of understood, but say it one more time.
Your suggestion, should I hold off till we get to the module that talks about sending product to FBA, or should I jump ahead of the ball and do what I got to do to get it there as soon as possible?
It's up to you on this one. If you jump ahead, I'll be here to help you. Most people would probably wait until that module, just not to overwhelm themselves, but if you want to jump ahead, I'll be here to help.
Okay. Is there a way that I can send you what that product is for you to review?
Sure, of course. Just hit me up on Facebook.
Okay.
I have a question.
What's up?
This is, I know we're not there yet. I apologize for that. But since I just read about this on your blog, you're having some issues with re-upping your product from overseas right now. My question is, do you have any advice on how to avoid that? Because one of the things I've been struggling with is the product that I might choose to get is a little bit on the pricey side.
Mhm.
And people keep saying, don't get a product that's going to be cost prohibitive for you to restock in the interim, I guess, between getting the money and needing to restock. And so I'm wondering, if that's like, what steps can I take? At what point, at what percentage point, for example, when I run low on stock, should I re-up, or do you have any numbers or suggestions on how to fix that?
Let me tell you why we had issues. Our issue was because we polled our audience in yoga, and they said that one of the demands is they wanted extra long, extra wide yoga mats. Now, when I said this from stage, I made the mistake of saying we polled our audience and found out they wanted them extra thick, extra long, and black and firm. And then as soon as I said that, I was like, why did I just say firm, long, and hard on stage? And that was me. But the reason for that was we polled our audience, and they wanted extra long, firm, thick, black yoga mats. And because of what our audience wanted, that put us into the oversized category. So we were bigger than the traditional size in yoga. And as a result, Amazon puts a cap on how many you can store in their inventory. In fact, you can't even have product on its way into their warehouse until you've sold out of what you have if you're selling an oversized item. And it can take 6 to 12 months of consistent sales to get that limit removed. That's why we've had a hard time keeping inventory, because what we have to do is get them to Amazon, order the next unit, sell out, ship on a boat for 7 weeks without inventory, and be without inventory for a while because we have that restriction. So I would not recommend to anyone that they start off by having an oversized item. If you don't have an oversized item, this is much more manageable. I mean, far more manageable. So if you are within those size guidelines, Anthony, you can have a much easier time managing orders, getting a high number of pieces of inventory into the warehouse. But if you have that size restriction, that means you can only have 500 units, and once you're out, it takes forever and a day to get more inventory. So that was the issue behind that inventory problem that I talked about on the blog. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much for clarifying.
I have a question in regards to your situation with the yoga mats.
Yep.
Is it not cost feasible to have you bring them into the country and then store them somewhere else here in the U.S. so that they're just, days away from Amazon?
That's exactly what we've done, but it wasn't cost feasible until the third shipment. And so we're actually, they're there now. We're doing exactly that. It just wasn't really feasible for us to do that until the third order.
Okay, got it.
Do you have any recommendations on how much inventory to start out initially with?
As much as you are comfortable having, the more the better. For example, when I started, I ordered 100 units. Now, that was fine because I was being protective of my investment, but by the time I was out, I went back to my manufacturer. They were out of inventory. It took them a while to restock, and I was out of business for a few weeks. Kind of sucked. I wish I had just bitten the bullet, bitten the bullet, bited the bullet, and ordered 1,000 units or more, so that I would have had time to build up cash reserves, time to build up sales and momentum, but I didn't. Now, in the long run, it didn't matter because now that company does 200 sales a day, and we're all fine, and it's doing freaking great. Awesome. But I wish that at the time I had ordered more, because in the long run, I would have been further ahead now as a result. So as much as you are comfortable, the more the better. Make you sensey?
Yep.
Cool. Hey, Robbie.
Hey.
Welcome to the Hangout.
Thanks. I figured it out now. I have a question, if I can.
Go ahead.
Something is bothering me about the first product preparation. I know I need to get it going, but I hear all the time they talk about, first of all, the images. And I see that rendering the images or like getting them in the best quality possible. This is one thing I need to take in account in considering my time. Secondly, packaging. And what I call it, or I heard calling it tweaking. Like if I found two products which look to me very potential, but I would like to do something that necessarily will be uniquely to me. But I want a suggestion because I feel I can get overwhelmed with it and disappear with so much preparation.
Okay, got it.
Because I saw what you did, and the mattress, you just put a nice ribbon, you did your own pictures, your own photos, and just got it going. So.
Yep. You are 100% right, Robbie. So let me give you the rundown, the checklist. So for those of you like Greg who are taking notes on my on the most important points, this would be a writer-downer. Here's what I'd recommend. Just white label your first product. Don't make something custom. Just go white label something because that'll allow you to build up the systems and the sales channel for building it out further. For example, from the beginning, we were like, for one of our supplements, we're like, hey, let's create our own formula. Stupid idea. We could just white label something, save some money, get the sales channel in, and then we went back and we created our own formula, and that's been great ever since then. But first, we started off going with the formula that they had, or a yoga mat. We don't need to create our own yoga mat. Just take what they've got, get it over to Amazon, get the sales channel going, and then we can go back and make refinements so it's unique to us. With packaging, next box, packaging, don't worry about it. Just have the unit sent straight to Amazon. Worry about packaging later. Packaging is expensive, and it delays the process. It's also very valuable to have. I've been in this business for, I took my first sale June 5th of 2013, so almost 1 year. And our first shipment of packages just arrived at Amazon this week. So do not worry about packaging until your sales are already starting. It makes no sense to keep investing more money until you've got sales coming in. Images. Images are important, but what most people do, and this is a great strategy, is hire someone on Fiverr to make really nice Photoshopped images of their product. For example, most supplements do this. They just take the label, turn it into a bottle, they make that the image. For our yoga mats, they are, what I said, my partner Sean, who will join us on some of these calls on Saturdays, he was like, Ryan, I caught a little bit of an error in one of your blog posts. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you said how important it is to have really nice images, but the image that you posted is one I took with my iPhone. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that one. Busted. So we do have some professional images taken of our products, but the ones that I think are the nicest are the ones that Sean took with his iPhone. So you can always modify, but put up what it takes in order to get sales first. Get your listing live. Don't worry if it's perfect. Put your images up. Don't worry if they're perfect. You can always change them, and it takes 10 minutes to change them. The important thing is you putting up the minimum viable product for you to get sales coming in. You can always refine it later, but refine it once sales are coming in, not before.
Thanks.
Is that cool?
That's very cool.
All right,
So
good.
in the beginning, you're just going to have one sample shipped to you then to look over and then take your own images of, or are you just going to get an initial quantity ordered?
That's what we did. We had one sent to us. Since it was from China, that was what you would call a bitch. That was a problem. It took forever for us to get the sample, and then it delayed us a few weeks. And it probably wasn't the best way for us to do that. But that is what we did, and that was fine in the long run because we're making sales now. With supplements or with really anything where you can get the label without having to have the physical product, especially if it's something that's white labeled, your manufacturer can often have sales. You can often just have somebody Photoshop the label around the generic item, and that's enough to kind of get you started. But yeah, we did have a sample sent to us, one sample, and then we had the rest shipped to Amazon, which really delayed us, but it was what we decided to do.
In regards to photoshopping your label onto the product, have you had any customers when they receive that product ask, where's the label, why does it look different than your photos?
The label will be there. As label, I don't consider packaging. When I say packaging, I mean a box around your product. Labeling is important.
Okay.
So your label will be on the product. We have had people say, hey, how come, like one time we had one of our labels, they were out of red labels, so they put it on a black label. And we have had people be like, well, my label was different, but the product worked great. And so did a couple people complain? Yeah. Did it matter or impact sales or customer experience? Not at all.
Okay. Because I have that first product here, but I don't have, it's just a generic form. I didn't get my label printed on it due to the MOQ that they wanted to have that happen. So I just chose to get, the lowest that I could get from the supplier, and it just doesn't have a label. So I would probably, you think I should Photoshop a label on there, or should I just maybe leave a generic picture up for now?
I would leave a generic picture up for now.
Okay.
Cool.
I have another question.
What's up?
I've been looking over the course curriculum and everything, but I don't see any indication. Will we be able to, through ASM or at least through you, get a better instruction on how to implement your Facebook launch method?
Sure. We can talk about that all you want, but I can give you the cliff notes right now. Really, to be honest with you, I laid out everything in that video. Like, people are like, what's the secret behind that? Nothing. Doing exactly what I said in the video is exactly what we did. And we did a bunch of things wrong, and it still worked. So the important thing is building up an audience and letting that audience be the first movers for your product. The whole reason we did that wasn't to like be a hack or like be a secret source or anything. The reason we did that is because we wanted to have an audience that we could launch new products to in order to kickstart the process. Because the more people that you have leaving reviews and using a form to kickstart it, it is best. Now, do that. I just unmuted myself. But you can. But the reason we did that was to build up those first users, those first movers for a product. You can do this in a myriad of ways. You can do it by having a Facebook page. You can do it by having a list. You can do it by having a blog audience. We just didn't have an audience, so we decided to go on Facebook, put ads up to build up that audience, and then do the launch that way. There's really no secret or anything that I held back in that presentation. So what would you like more clarification on in that process?
I just didn't know if there'd be like a step-by-step. I've never done ads of any kind.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm sure it's just as easy as clicking the button and it'll tell me, but I didn't know if there'd be a hand-holding walk-through process at some point in the future when we're ready, and when would be the best time to do that, I guess would be the first question I'd have.
Okay, so if, to answer your question, do I have a hand-holding process on putting up ads? No. When should you do it? As soon as your product is ordered, I'd recommend you start to build up an audience. Emilio, who's a Facebook juggernaut, just posted, I can set up an ad for you guys in a Hangout if you want to see it done live. So kudos to Emilio. We'll have him do that. But I recommend when you have your inventory on a boat somewhere in the Pacific Ocean on its way to the U.S., the best thing you can do in that interim period is to start building up an audience so that you can start to launch to. Mm-hmm. This is going to be your hardest part, guys. Your biggest frustrations are going to come in like week 4 when you've ordered a product, it's on a boat somewhere, and piranhas and stuff are running into the boat, and shipping people are yelling at each other, and you've got nothing to do. And you're going to be sitting here like, what can I do, Ryan? I'm so anxious to get my inventory. I just want to make a darn sale. And it's going to be, that's the most frustrating part. So in that interim period, what you can be doing is building up an audience who would be interested in buying your product. So I guess we'll go into that once we're at week 3 or 4, but it's really just going to be building an audience. I've done it on Facebook, so you can have a group of people that you can launch to once your product is ready.
So on Amazon, Ryan, can you already have a product listed even though you haven't supplied inventory to them yet?
You can have it listed, but it won't be available for sale yet.
Okay, so is that recommended?
We did not leak that. We kept it a secret. Could you leak it? Sure, no big deal. I do know people that started taking sales before they had inventory, and then they went and fulfilled them within Amazon after they had inventory. I do not know how that works. I don't know the technicalities behind that. That is not my strategy, but one of our former tribe members did do that, where he just set it to fulfill by merchant, kept them on a waiting list, emailed them, said, we're out of stock, we'll have this for you as soon as it's in. 2 weeks later, his inventory arrived, and he started sending them out one by one. I don't know how that process works, but I know that it can be done.
Okay.
I want to take a question from Kelly on the Google page. She asked, would you recommend going with a U.S. manufacturer over an overseas manufacturer? My answer to that is, if you can get the same pricing, then yes. But it's going to be a cold day in hell most of the time when their prices will compete. So for physical products like kitchen, baby, yoga, anything that is physical, that is going to be really tough to compete with going with a U.S. supplier. If you can find it, by all means go with a U.S. supplier. They're far easier to deal with. For consumables, food, supplements, that can be done in the U.S. without any problems. You will have no problems that way. You don't want to order supplements from China because you end up with ground baby in it. But with so food items and things you're putting in your body, you want them U.S.-based. It'll be way easy to do that. Anything physical, non-consumable is probably going to be done in China.
Ryan, I have a question.
So,
cool. I wanted to know about, firstly, you said you order your products and to ship them by a boat. I mean, like there is, well, most of the products or my product sourcing, when I talk to suppliers about, I considered immediately DHL or UPS shipment, like I wanted it fast, like a week.
yeah.
Obviously, much more expensive, but it's time-consuming, isn't it?
Yeah, if you are able to do it and make the numbers work, I'm jealous of you. For us, it was way too expensive to do that. So if you're
okay.
If you're able to do it by air, by all means, please do it. I do know people that sell lightweight items. They can be airlifted. Mats are heavy, so they were really expensive if airlifted.
So my product is going to be really light, and that's why I consider it. But I was thinking about your strategy about Facebook and about like ordering about 50 to 100 pieces to my country and go and give it between groups of content which I know to get reviews.
Okay.
And the other one maybe ship them by a boat, because I also want to know the times. Like when you order the next order and get it on time and not wait like weeks and weeks between shipments.
Yeah, so again, if you can do it via air and it makes sense and your profit margins stay high, please do that. We couldn't do that because of the weight of our item.
Okay.
Cool.
And one more small thing. I had a product which I got interested and looked to me very good opportunity. And one of the bullets on the competing product was saying that they have patent pending product. Now, how do I find out which product is patented or not, or how to find out I'm not getting into trouble before I get all the orders of products and to know this is legitimate.
Did you say it's patent pending?
That's what they're saying, but I found like this all over China. I didn't see anything like look like patented, or copying. It's not a brand name. How do I know really what is cool and what is not?
There is a patent search that you can do through the U.S. government website. You can also ask your supplier if they're aware of any patents. You can also see if there are competitors selling the exact same thing. For example, one of our next products is yoga towels. And yoga towels, the #1 yoga towel, has a non-slip bottom. And the non-slip bottom is made up of little rubber dots underneath the towel that keep it from slipping. Those are patented. So we found that out. My partner did a U.S. patent search and found that the dots themselves were, the rubber dots were patented. We found out that if we made a silicone backing, it didn't have dots, but the whole back was silicone, no problems at all. There was no patent on that at all. So we contacted our supplier and was like, do you do this? And they're like, yeah, no problem. We have that in stock. And it was like, well, that was easy. That was an easy workaround. We can still market it as a non-slip yoga mat. We just had to get a different material rather than a rubber circle. That's it.
Got it. Thanks.
Cool. Pat Welsh. I had coffee with Dave Ambrose yesterday, and he says hello.
I talked to Dave yesterday, and he told me he talked to you.
Oh, cool. Cool.
He didn't tell me what you guys talked about, but he said you guys had a conversation, I guess.
Yeah, we had a great conversation.
So yeah, that's cool.
He really likes what I'm doing with the Losing My Religion project. He also was curious what my intentions were, and when I told him, he was very pleased, and then he wanted to help out. So it was just a conversation about that, and we talked about philosophy and religion, and it was fun.
Nice. Yeah, he was actually telling me he could see himself writing a book with you.
Well, good. That makes me happy to hear. Thanks for that. All right, guys. So you guys are in Module 1, correct? So you're learning about getting your Seller Central account set up. You're learning about the types of products you should be looking at. You've heard my criteria for products to be looking at. What other questions do you have? I understand most questions come up like in step 3 when we're really starting to market. But I really want you to understand that when you start marketing, the most important pieces are reviews and Amazon ads. Everything else is really unimportant. When you see a bunch of people who are doing press releases, YouTube videos, SEO, that's all fine and well. I think it's unnecessary, at least when you're starting out. I think it's a fast way to get burnt out and confused. My opinion. Now, there's a caveat to this. For example, our ASM Tribe Member of the Year, Zach Lee, at every live event, I give out a Tribe Member of the Year award, which is usually a high five and everybody claps. But Zach Lee was our Tribe Member of the Year, and he had a background in search engine optimization. So you better believe that he was doing SEO for his product listing. Was that absolutely essential? No. Do I recommend that other people go master SEO so that they can go do SEO for their product? No. But if you've got a skill set that's really good, Emilio is really good on Facebook, so I'd be recommending that he do Facebook ads to his. But for most people, if you're Joe Schmo off the street that isn't from the internet marketing circle, then all you need to worry about is getting reviews and Amazon PPC. Very simple things that you can be aggressive with, that you can be strategic with, that will make all the difference in the world between you being an obscure product and you selling 100 units a day.
If you were going to spend a couple $1,000s on inventory, how much of that would you budget for the PPC stuff?
That's a great question. I had this call today with one of my partners, and he was like, I'm kind of nervous about spending too much on PPC. And I said, are we profitable on PPC? Meaning, are we making money total from PPC ads? Are we making $1 from sending PPC ads? And he said yes. And I said, then I want to spend as much as possible. As much as possible. Michael Roberts has joined the call. What's up, Michael?
What's up, man? Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to meet you. So the question that was just posed is, how aggressive should you be with Amazon PPC? And my opinion is be as aggressive as you feel comfortable. So I am comfortable personally. I'm at a different level than people who are just starting out, but I am comfortable losing money on advertising in order to get volume going. Because there is such a large piece of Amazon's algorithm that is volume of sales, I will be aggressive with that. The standard way is to say if you break even, then that's fine. As long as you are breaking even, because that way you're not losing money, but you're still getting the benefit of feeding the algorithm. And then the safe way would be if you're still profiting, then spend as much as possible. There is, remember, a limit to how much inventory the PPC platform will provide you as far as volume goes. So some keywords will only withstand 100 clicks a day, for example, and that might be 10 sales or 20 sales or whatever it is. If that's the case, then you don't need to worry about how much you're spending on PPC because there's a limit to it. But I am as aggressive as possible. My recommendation is, if you're comfortable with it, be aggressive with it. If you're not comfortable with it, then spend $15, $20 a day. And I shouldn't even say spend, because that $15 a day will be making you $40, $50, $100. So you're really trading a quarter for $1. I'd do that as much as possible. But I'm aggressive. I'll spend as much as possible.
Okay, good.
I have a question, if
Sure.
no one else does. So we're focusing totally on reviews, and I guess I don't fully grasp the review concept of how Amazon works. Am I giving away like a coupon code, or are you? How does that work?
Great question.
Coupon code?
Yeah, so that's a great question. There's two ways to do it. I'll tell you how we did it. The perfect way to do it, like if you wanted to be confusing and perfect and get everything exactly right, but you're kind of skirting the system, like the absolute best way to do it is if you had a group of people who bought your product and you reimburse them privately through PayPal or meeting in a corner alley and giving them cash.
Yes.
And that would be perfect, right? Because it would look like a real sale. They left a review. It'd be perfect. What we did is we just gave out a coupon code. And the reason for that is because we didn't care about the sale. All I cared about was getting the review. And I wanted to get as many reviews as possible. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And when you give out a coupon code and you get the review, or I mean, they get the product for free, they get the coupon code. What percentage of those people actually like leave a review? Because they don't have to, right? They can just rip them off.
Give them our first list is people that we knew. So
Yeah.
if it's possible, just do this. Keep a spreadsheet of all the people who took a review.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. When we do a giveaway, we have everybody email our support line, so we get their email address. We put them into a spreadsheet, and we follow up with them every 15 to 20 days or so. And then we get them back. But then we continue to follow up with them until they leave a review.
Okay. Okay, so it's a pretty high rate then. If you get that email, you can just bug the crap out of them.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And then one more question, if you don't mind.
Sure. Actually, let's do this. We're right at an hour.
Yeah.
Let's take a 5-minute break, and then
Okay.
we're going to reconvene because I want to get some water and stuff. So give me 5 minutes, and we'll all come back. Cool?
Yeah, cool.
All right, see you guys in 5.
Good, because I have to pee.
I didn't even know they were having this call. I got an email.
Oh,
It said we're starting a live thing right now.
Really? Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, real
Well, Angie dumped your clubhouse.
Well, Kurt was the only one that was around.
No.
I told him I was doing an ASM call.
Well, you didn't know until you didn't know.
Yeah.
That was a good timing because I was about ready to get up to go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna go out here and look on the.
I was planning on getting some other stuff done, but it's on the back burner.
This is more important, Sage. At least I hope you feel that way.
Yeah. Maybe he's doing it beforehand just to get people together, and he won't always do that, or maybe he'll ask him that. He didn't say that in the beginning, did he?
Say what?
That he's going to do this every Wednesday at 2.
I'm gonna ask. No.
Okay.
Remember, I got on the call late.
Okay.
Okay, I am back.
Welcome back, Ryan. We missed
Well, well, thank you very much, Michael.
you. I think it's that scruff, man. It's just kind of turning me on a little bit.
It's at its perfect length right now.
You know, yours is a little bushier than mine.
We could have a beard off later.
I think we should.
A tribe beard off. We'll be like the Red Sox in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. until everyone's made a sale. We're just going to grow massive amounts of facial hair.
Sounds perfect. Before we get to your second question, Kelly's requesting. Bye, Ken. Thanks for coming. I want to grab Kelly's question. I've had a lot of concern about my seller account. I currently drop shit. Need to keep it going for now, but I run out of stock, and my pre-order cancellation rate is fair. Ooh. Do you think it's worth me going through the hassle of trying to secure a second seller's account, or use my current account for both dropshipping and ASM? Well, I'll tell you what I've done, Kelly, is I have a partner on each of my businesses. So I have 3 Amazon brands, all 3, and they have 3 different partners. Because of that, I have 3 Seller Central accounts that are all tied together through my login. So I have 3 Seller Central accounts. Amazon knows that it's me, and it's not a problem because they're different businesses with different employer identification numbers, and it's no problem. So if you want to set up a different employer identification number, or if you want to get a partner on your business and have them add you to the account, you'll have no problems. It's totally kosher. But doing it under the same account, you could do it. I would definitely say that it'd be worth you building up your seller profile a bit, and if you already have seller feedback, you've got some good momentum there that I would be hesitant to tell you to give up on. If you've got seller feedback, like we talked about, that's one of the most critical factors in how you rank on Amazon. It's more important, I think it's more important than reviews as far as total rankings, not for conversions, but for total rankings. So if you have really solid feedback, and I'd be interested for you to comment in the chat box on how much feedback you have. If it's a new account, just get a new one. If it is, you have some feedback, how much feedback do you have? Like how many, what's your number for feedback? Okay, well 10 ratings is nothing. It's a new account at that point. So if that's the case, I think it's just as good for you to get a new account. All right, so Michael, you had a second question for me.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do. And sorry if someone's asked this, so it could be a dumb question.
That's fine.
So how do you decide what your primary keyword is for your product? I ran a Google PPC ad just for multiple keywords because the keyword planner doesn't show everything. And I got the best keyword through Google, but I don't know how well that relates to Amazon.
Yeah, great question. The best way for you to do that is to run some Amazon PPC and see what gets the most impressions. And to focus there. Google is going to be completely different than Amazon. I wish they were the same, but they're completely different.
Okay.
But if you do Amazon PPC, we found that perfectly indicative of what's going to convert for us, ranking organically as well.
Awesome. And I've never done Amazon PPC before, but...
You've done Google PPC.
Yeah, I know it's the same, right?
This is approximately 1/500th of the difficulty of Google PPC.
Okay.
Approximately 1/500th of the difficulty.
So can I run a PPC ad to just like one of the competitors? Is that kind of what you do?
Well, we ran into our own listing. You can't run it to a competitor.
Okay.
We waited till we have inventory, ran some ads, looked at what was... the reason we did this is because there's certain ways that you can boost, we think you can boost your rankings. I'm speculating at this point. But keywords in your reviews, keywords in your title, when you tell your friends and family that you want them to buy something, what keywords do they type in before they buy something? These are all things that actually affect your ranking. So, but because of that, there's a little bit of a limitation on how many keywords you can target at one time. So we ran the Amazon PPC, looked at what keywords had the most volume, and then we focused our energies in our listing and our reviews and getting people to type it in and look for it on those specific keywords with the most amount of volume. Just give me a thumbs up if that answers your question. Cool. 2 thumbs up. Wow, I got a bonus. And an OK sign. A double OK sign. Man, Michael, you are my favorite tribe member so far. Wow. Now if I start getting high fives, if somebody gives me high fives, it's going to be a bit of a different game. The hell is that? Hello? Something fell, and I don't know what it was. Anyway, could be a mouse. I've had mice in this house before. What the hell is that? Forgive me. Hold on. Something is... I can't figure out what it is, but there's some sort of, like... There's a monster in my house is basically what's happening. Anyway.
That's probably not safe, man.
Probably not. That's okay. Oh! The landscapers are here, and they're moving things around on the floor above me. Okay, just figured it out.
All right.
Thanks, Michael, for helping me with that.
You know, I care, Ryan. I care.
I appreciate you caring about my safety.
No one else does, but I do.
All right, Emilio. I would like to hear if your questions have been answered. If there's anything specifically you'd like to know, let me know in the chat box. Or you can just tell me audibly. He's good. All right. Good to know.
Ryan, I've got a question for you.
Go ahead, Pat.
I just was going to piggyback off the whole review thing. Would you recommend at all doing an Amazon gift card to people, or it's either cash or it's a coupon code?
So tell me about the process. What do you see the process looking like?
Well, my process was to use my seller, not even necessarily my Seller Central account. I could use my regular Amazon account and buy Amazon gift cards for the price of my product and give those away via email to friends and family and have them use that Amazon gift card to buy the product.
Okay.
Will Amazon see that as a negative thing because it's basically the same gift card?
Not necessarily. That was our fear, which is why we didn't do it. If somebody had a gift card, like if it was a bunch of new accounts with Amazon gift cards, I would run for the hills from doing that. If it was a bunch of existing accounts, I wouldn't worry about it. I don't know if you're going to get a bump over doing a coupon code versus getting the sale. To be honest with you, I could only speculate at that. We decided not to do it because that was like an obvious way that I think Amazon could tie it all together, which is why we decided not to do it. A coupon code could be a giveaway on a blog. It could be a customer appreciation coupon. But if we're giving away a bunch of gift cards, it would be clear that we were doing something, and we just decided not to take that risk.
All right.
Cool. I'm going to look at the comments on here. Brian wants to know about building a Facebook audience. So he's asking about building a... So, Brian, Brian asked about building up an audience on Facebook. So our strategy on Facebook is to build up interest pages, not product-specific pages. So our Facebook page for yoga is not Zen Active Sports. It's I Love Yoga. Now, when I said that from stage, the next day there were 1,000 I Love pages, and I wanted to shoot someone. It was like, you missed the point. There are people who had like, I love my foot. And they're like, no, because you're selling a foot cream, you don't put I love my foot as the... Okay. But the point is to have a general interest. So for working out, it would be addicted to the gym, or I could beat you in an arm wrestling match, or a face cream, over 40 and loving it, over 40 moms, or weight loss, fit over 35, moms who are fit. I'm just making these up. If we had more time, or gadgets. It would depend on what kind of gadgets, Robbie. For For kitchen, I'm a mommy homemaker. With fitness gadgets, anything that have to do with fitness, addicted to the gym, or fitness challenge 60, or so a generic name. It wouldn't be like, I love my rubber lifting gloves. Like that would, no one's gonna like that. But people will like too busy to get to the gym, or addicted to the gym, or whatever your target market is into. I love yoga was a really, really easy one. I love my foot, not so much. So what is the general reason why somebody is doing what they're doing? That is what you're going after as far as building up your Facebook audience. I hope that answers your question, Brian. Let me know. Anthony, you're fine. Hold on. I love my baby is okay. Actually, that's pretty good, Anthony. He just posted, mine was, I love my baby. I'd say that's fine because people are going to post pictures of their baby. One person in that saw me at ASM, theirs was, I love male grooming. It was like, oh, oof. And what we changed it to was real men stay groomed. In retrospect, I should have changed it to, like, beards are manly or something. Like beards are manly, or beard group 2014 or something. Or my beard is better than your beard. That's a good one. That's something I'd like. And then Michael and I would have a beard off.
You're getting a double thumbs up for that one again.
Boom.
Man.
I'm going to start counting the number of thumbs ups.
That one go to your head.
Okay. Thumbs up are currency in my world. Kelly Underhall asked, should we set up an LLC? Yes. Are there any benefits to that? Yes. If we do set one up, any suggestions in which state? Wherever you live. Because LLC's income are going to get passed to you anyway, so just put it where you live. All right.
Ryan?
Sir.
I have a question. I saw in your Facebook page, I Love Yoga.
Yeah.
One of the links there was actually linking to a pre-sale page.
Yes, sir.
And I would like to know how much that in comparison to the group building there in the Facebook. Like you made a whole launch, sort of launch, in your in this page, right? And how is this in comparison to
building a
pre-sale?
We did the whole launch without the pre-sale page. We rolled out the pre-sale page within the last 60 days as an experiment, and it did well, but not well enough for me to like build a strategy around. We did that because we'll probably use that pre-sale page in other marketing areas, but it worked. The launch process worked just fine without any sort of pre-sale page at all.
But you still recommend to do it? Is it helping?
Eventually, yeah. I don't think, like if I was giving you a step-by-step checklist, it would be like step 14 after go to dinner and celebrate your first sale. So does it work? Is it cool? Yes. It's at the bottom of your to-do list until like week 7.
Got it. So it can wait.
Yes, it can. I hope you guys are getting that. My whole point here, my whole goal is to get you guys to simplify the process and strip out everything that you don't need until you are regularly profitable. And then we can worry about doing extra things. Now, what most people will do, and ASM is just a little bit guilty of this, is giving out as much content as possible to have a BP course, but then people are a little bit confused on what to do next. So what I want to do is just strip out all of that and just give you from my however many hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've sold on Amazon now of what has been directly impactful on that and getting from 0 to profitable. And then we'll worry about everything else.
Okay. One more thing about the product. I want to know how to be effective with choosing the product from the supplier, because for every sample I need to check, actually, it takes around 3 days to 1 week to arrive,
Yeah.
and maybe I need to check 3, 4, 5, 10 suppliers, that will consume all my time. Have you got any idea how to shortcut this?
Narrow it down to 2 or 3 suppliers, and narrow it down to 1 or 2 products, and then take samples. You can evaluate your suppliers based on response time, price, feedback on Alibaba, shipping time. The most important being price, response rate, shipping time. If
How about
somebody,
quantity?
what's
Sorry.
that?
How about quantity? Like, can give any minimum order quantity?
Yeah, I would include that in price. Like, how much money are you going to have to shell out in order to get that first supply? So if you're waiting on several suppliers' samples, first narrow it down by how much is it going to cost for you to get your first inventory? How responsive are they? Because if they disappear one day, you're SOL.
Sure.
And shipping time, how fast can they get their orders out to you? Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Understand what he said earlier about not having packaging.
Robbie, does someone need me to respond? Packaging?
Packaging? Yeah, what about it?
I said it's not
Don't worry
important.
about it right now.
What's that?
You said that not to worry about it in this stage right now. Just white label it. And,
So again, I've been in this almost a year, and my first packaging, meaning the box around the product, only arrived this week. So we've gone a whole year. I built a business that's on pace to do $2 million in sales this year without having any packaging except for a label.
So you're talking about your own like branding, packaging versus what the manufacturer just defaults and sends out?
No, what I'm saying is like a box around the product. So
Okay.
like our yoga mat is just, I don't have it here, but when it arrives in Amazon's box, it's got bubble wrap in there and a box and the yoga mat. What we're talking about doing next is putting a box around it so that it's like something that you go to the store and get. But we might not even do that because if you go to Target, all the yoga mats are out of a box. Like they're not in a box, they're just sitting there wrapped up. So it's not necessary for us to have a box.
is
My
it the same
supplement-
with supplements?
Say what?
Is it the same with your supplements?
Our supplements, we're just starting to get boxes. After a year, we're just starting to get a box.
Oh.
Now we've had a label and copy on the label, but no box. You look mesmerized by that concept.
I am mesmerized.
Okay. Keep it simple, Robbie. Keep it simple.
Thanks. Okay.
What is the least amount of work you can do to taking your first sale? And then worry about everything else. So the least amount of work you can do to get your first sale is to white label a product, send it to Amazon, and put up an ad while getting reviews. That is the shortcut way. The long way is to get 10 samples, tweak your copy 50 times, order a few units, then not like your listing and refine it, wait for a professional photographer to take images, and just keep delaying, wait for a box, and then 5 weeks in, you're like, shit, I didn't make any money. And now my bank account's drained. Or you could just take 1 sale and then 2 sales and 3 sales and go, hey, cool, we're up to 10 sales a day. Now I'm going to worry about getting professional images. Oh, cool, that gave me a 20% bump, but now I'm up to 12 sales a day, 15 sales a day. Maybe I should think about rolling out a box. Maybe I don't need that yet. I'll just keep worrying about my reviews, which is what I'll tell you to do until you've got 100 reviews or so. And then you've got 100 reviews and you're selling 50 a day, and you go, okay, maybe now I want to do a box. Rather than trying to eat the whole elephant at one time, just Take one bite. Most people, when I tell them this, and this is what I'm getting from you, fight me at first, and then they relax and they go, oh, I can just keep this simple. I like this a lot better. Am I close?
Complicated.
Yes, sir.
So on Google, everything's about being on the first page for SEO. On Amazon, I guess it's all relevant to what the volume is for the product niche that you're in, but what are you finding as far as what page you're on before you really start getting sales?
That is 100% true. In really competitive markets like Garcinia, Cambodia, people will start making sales on page 4 and 5.
Okay.
With less stuff like yoga mats, we didn't start seeing really good volume till page 3. Now, we do see definitely an increase, like from page 2 to page 1, or even from the bottom of page 1 to the middle of page 1. There's definitely an increase. But you can game it a little bit with ads, because Amazon ads don't look very addy, so their click-through rates are high, and you can just pay to be on the first page. Organically, depending on your market, page 3 to 4 is when you might start to see organic sales, but by all means, be advertising to show up on page 1.
And then the coupon that you spoke of, that's something that you design within the Amazon system that you send out through people? Okay.
Yeah. Be like yoga number 4 life might be one of our coupon codes.
Okay. Cool.
Any other questions? Or do we feel like this is a good first kickoff?
I just have one last question.
Sure.
When you do coupon giveaways, do you limit? Is it basically just whatever you're comfortable with, giving away 200 product, 300 product, 10 product, whatever you're financially comfortable with?
We keep one coupon code like private for friends and family because I'll give a coupon code to whoever will leave a review.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'll take a review anytime. But then we'll do like kickoff coupon codes that we'll release on a forum or release on our Facebook page or whatever, and we just try to eye it and monitor it to be like, yeah, 100, and when we get to 100, we stop giving out that coupon code, or we shut down or change that coupon code. Because one time, a coupon code got leaked on a forum that we didn't have control over, and as a result, a bunch of people were getting free yoga mats, and we caught it early just because we saw an increase in volume of the coupon code, and we're like, something ain't right here. So we just canceled that coupon code and started a new one. But yeah, it is something that you kind of have to monitor and control.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Is this the same time each week you're going to do the call?
Nope, we're actually going to be doing them Saturday mornings.
Cool.
The reason we did this one is it's just been a little bit crazy getting, first of all, I know you guys are kicking off, and so you have a bunch of things to do. 2, it's been a little bit difficult coordinating schedules. And 3, I just couldn't wait anymore, and I was like, let's just do a kickoff. I just want to get to know people and have a kickoff, and we'll get this thing started. But they're officially going to be Saturday mornings when we're into the regular flow of things.
Okay. And the video that you talked about where you go through Facebook, is that just out there on the Facebook page for the tribe?
I will find the link for you right now. Actually, a great question from stand by, Jason Christian, regarding the lead time for supplements. 8 to 10 weeks for first batch isn't crazy if it's a new supplement, on a custom supplement, but if it's something they have a house blend in, it should only be a few days. If it's something that they've got in the house, they should be able to fulfill that very quickly. If it's not a house blend, I could understand why it'd be 8 to 10 weeks. If it's something that's really something that's really common, then people are telling you that it's 8 to 10 weeks, you're probably working with a supplier that isn't on top of things, and you should get a different one. Ryan Moran, amazing sewing machine. Stand by. Let me get this for you. Here it is. This is that video in the chat box right now.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, so before we go, one really quick selfish plug. I have 2 podcasts that are really rising really quickly in the iTunes charts, and it would mean a lot to me if any of you would go over and leave a review on iTunes, because that helps feed that algorithm for me to rank higher, and I'm right at the cusp of it, so I'm scratching and clawing for every review that I can get. One is Freedom Fastlane, the other is Losing My Religion, and both of them are right at the cusp of getting exposure, and I could use your help there if any of you are willing to leave a review. Thanks, Robbie. Do you guys have any other questions you want to put in the chat box before I go?
None here. I appreciate all your help, Ryan.
Yeah,
I'll leave you
ditto.
right now.
Same. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, then, thanks, Emilio, and I will chat with you guys soon. I'll see you in the Facebook group in the meantime. Thanks for the thumb. Oh, I got a thumbs up from Greg. Hey.
Stealing my thunder.
See you, Ryan.
All right, guys. See you.
See ya.
Yes. Bye.